Hello, disc golf people. I knew you were waiting for a follow-up video for the last 4 years. 4 years ago, I posted a video called Future Pro in the Bag. And you might be wondering, wow, you must be a pro now. You've had 4 years to practice. And that's where you'd be wrong. I am not a pro yet, but I think I'm well on my way. My rating has changed by 71 points, which means I've gotten a lot worse, but I blame that on two things. One, I lost most of my really cool discs, and everyone knows that the most important thing about disc golf is having the best discs. People think it's about practice. They think it's about being able to execute the shot and never fail, being able to visualize lines, being able to hit putts. That's nonsense. You have discs for that. You got 24 of them because they can all do different things for you, and then you don't need to learn how to do it. That's the best part about this. And the more money you spend and the more fancy stuff that you get, the cooler you look while you're doing it too. So losing all those discs kind of hurt. Kind of starting over, accumulating some weird oddities, and I'll get back to where I was. The other thing is I left St. Thomas. And everyone knows that the closer you are to St. Thomas, the naturally better you are at the sport, because they spike the water with performance enhancing drugs. Like Kettle Creek has something in it. And like I've lost 50 feet off of my drives, and I think that's just because I don't drink raw Kettle Creek water anymore. I need to start filling some of that up. I actually have a second water bottle just for that Kettle Creek water next time I'm down. So we'll get started on the bag. So here's the bag. The more slots that you have, the better it is. Some people might have a cart, but I think that doesn't get your back muscles. And I want to have big back muscles for the ladies. So to start, here's my putting putter. I never use it. It's just an MVP atom. I think putting is the easiest and least important part of the game. I think that if you're landing your upshots and you have good drives, you pretty much never need it. Like, you just tap it in. And I wrote, you just tap it in on the top, but it's been rubbed off for me tapping it in so many times. And then I've got my gum putt. I use this thing for when I get frustrated and just need like a stress ball, or if I need to like do an upshot on like a hill. And then going to the other putters. I got two Envies. These are my throwing putters. I like them for any shot that you'd throw a throwing putter on. They go ridiculously far, so it's nice to flex on people when like they're throwing mid-ranges, even though this is basically just a mid-range. This one's super overstable, this one's very straight, and I picked them because they have really nice colors. Like I think this one looks like McDonald's and this one looks like a creamsicle, so I named them McDonald's and creamsicle. That's how much I use them. And then I also got a Brody Zone for approach shots. It's one of those flex crystal ones. And I just got this because Brody Disc is the greatest disc golfer of all time. And if you buy discs with great disc golfers on it, then you will throw better. That's just the rules. If it has a pro's name on it, then you are closer to being a pro just through proximity. It's like when you study for math, and instead of like reading and studying it, you just put the textbook on your head and absorb it through osmosis. Same thing. This is my osmosis. Then I have a proxy, and this is like my turnover putter, and it's good to have something understable for utility shots. I got an ace with it, it's pretty cool. And then I got my mid-range. This is my go-to mid-range. It's a Mary Curry reactor, and I think it's hilarious because it's called a reactor. It glows in the dark, and it has Mary Curry on it. I think that's really funny. It's glow in the dark. Then I have my Protostar Wombat, and it's just fun. It goes straight. You can do dumb shots with it. Has a Protostar on it, so it's super cool. Also looks kind of like McDonald's. And I've got my Aerobi Aero, and people make fun of this disc. But the way that it's shaped, it has negative glide, so it just suctions to the ground. So you have like a 50-mile-per-hour headwind. You throw this thing as hard as you want, and it's not going anywhere. So you don't have to worry about wind. And then I've got the best disc in my bag, the RT Night Owl. This was given to me by Cole Redmond. Once he becomes a pro and wins the World Championship, which should be any day now, I want this to be a signature disc, and I'll have the first one, and I plan on selling it on eBay for hundreds of dollars. In the meantime, I just use it to knock discs out of trees, because this is a rock. Now, the other thing is the more different brands that you have, the better, because like all the manufacturers, you get all of their powers. It's like having like all the different Dragon Balls. This is my Castaplast Cock, and it's like K-A-Z-E, and I just like it because it's cock. Then, the other thing, too, is even if you're not better than the people that you're playing with, you can be better than them using mind games and intimidation. So I try and have some fancy discs that I don't throw, just to flex on other people and show off in between holes. So I've got a watermelon. I don't tell people which watermelon it is. I let them guess. Some of them are expensive, some of them are not. Which one is it? I'm not telling them for a reason. And then I've got the Paul Macbeth Buzz. And I'm too scared to throw this thing because the last time I threw it into a pond, and I spent a very long time looking for it in that pond. So it's just there to intimidate people. And then this is a 10-year buzz, and same thing. I'm too scared to throw it, but I like to have it just to pull it out on the tee pad and have people be like, "Oh my God, you have a disc that's worth way too much money that you definitely paid that much money for, and didn't buy it 10 years ago when it was super cheap." And I've got my Marty Wraith because you need to have a local pro in your bag. It's just the best way to do it, and it's like a utility overstable disc, so it's very good. And then I've got, oh, what is that? Looks like something's slipping through my bag. And then I've got this thing. I always keep it in the bag for warm up. You know, you're waiting on that tee pad. It's a tournament. There's like 14 groups in front of you, and there's like a long time. You can use this to stretch out all of your tendons that you tore on the first couple holes. But you're not a pansy, so you're not gonna like tell anybody that. So you just stretch them out using this thing, and it totally gives you more power. I have a turbo putt purely for intimidation purposes. I've never thrown a turbo putt in my life. I've dislocated my shoulder too many times. I have a D2, again, because you need to have as many different brands as possible in order to get all of the different powers from all the different manufacturers. And you can tell that I've used this disc a lot by the sticker on it. And I've got a Pro Discus Lasery, again, different manufacturers, and this thing's dead straight and it has this weird little like double lip thing. It's like a really weird disc, but it goes freakishly straight for no reason. Like any angle you put it on, it just wants to go straight. So it's very helpful. This is my EcoStar Katana. This is like my 15th EcoStar Katana. I got a whole bunch of these when I started, and I like them in green so that I donate them to new players when I lose them on the tee pad. I always like to throw my second tee shot with an EcoStar Katana to see what would happen if I threw an EcoStar Katana, and 9 times out of 10, it's in a spot that no one but a new player is ever gonna find. And then I have a Star Firebird, super flippy. I don't know why, but I like to start all of my games with the Star Firebird. It doesn't matter how short the hole is. I just think that when you pull up with a card of people, and then the person on your, like one of your card mates steps up to the tee, they're like, "I'll go first. I'll just throw my Firebird." It's a 200-foot hole. Pulling out a Firebird, I'm gonna hyzer flip it. That's the thing. It's super intimidating. People don't know that this is a super flippy Firebird. So when the first guy goes up on the first tee, hyzer flips a Firebird 200 feet, sometimes in the right direction, you know that you're outmatched. The guy's basically a professional, and that's it. That's all my discs. And as soon as I get more, and as soon as I find a way to stuff more in there, then I'll definitely become a pro. Eventually, maybe someday. Bye.